equally excited to see his work. It's, I mean, seeing a snake itself a bit scary for me. I love wildlife photography and every stuff, but then when it comes to snake, I'll go at least 10 meters in terms. Really looking forward for some tips and your guidance on this.
Thank you very much. Good morning, guys. Thanks, Nisha. It's an honor to share a stage with you. And guys, sorry on a Friday early morning I wake you up. Normally it's a sleeping time for most of us, for me also. But I'm here to give you some brief what I do on the wildlife side. You can say wildlife, I mean, this is in my DNA. I've been doing it since the age of 10. And trust me guys, there was a time when my parents just about to wrote me off. They were just about to disown me. You know, a 10-year-old guy you see sitting in a lawn, lying down on the ground and watching what ants and the geckos and the grasshoppers is doing. I mean, any parents tomorrow, if my son does this, yes, I'm going to have a heart attack. Same thing my father had, same thing my father. But you know, my parents at the end of the day, they given up. They said, let's at least support him. So, my background is, you know, since the age of 10, I'm involved into wildlife photography. My main subject was always been a tiger. I always, I worked a lot on the tigers. I was involved with the NGOs, involved with the census of the tiger in India, involved with a lot of projects, a lot of research work in tigers. I can correctly name them. I can identify each and every tiger in some of the tiger projects. That is what was my involvement was there. But then the life took a U-turn 15 years back when I shifted to UAE, and I was just blank in my mind. That in UAE, as a wildlife photographer or a wildlife enthusiast, what am I going to get? I mean, when I came in 15 years back here, there was nothing. But I always say, you know, the wildlife photography or the wildlife enthusiasm starts from your garden. You know, from the age of 10, I used to document things in my notebook, in my diary, a particular bird or a particular species coming at this particular time. How is it behaving at a particular time? So that I used to write it down in my notebook. In those days there was no camera, no DSLR, nothing. So I was more interested in documenting the behavior of particular animals. That was my main interest. The photography came afterwards. So when I came here, there was nothing. And that's when the Uncle Vipin started doing it. And trust me people, 15 years back when I came in, there was no one to help me out. I don't know why. People, those who used to help, people used to go into the field. I mean, they used to scare sharing the details with me. I don't know what scares them. You know, this is I believe in sharing the information with the people. You know, make people aware about it. What you're seeing it. It's not taking only a photograph in a while. It's documenting them. That is very important. That makes some picture from picture to a great picture. Today, nowadays, if you see the DSLR, they come with all kinds of automation. You just click it and you get a good picture. But have you clicked something rare into it? Have you clicked some behavior into it? No. Then it's no use. You'll see, when I came in, because of this reason, I started sharing on social media. Maximum possible. Whenever I put my pictures on a social media, and I make sure I put it in the maximum possible place in the internet. And I always write a story about it. Even if I put a simple picture, but I will write a story, that you'll see this particular species like this. You'll see this particular with this kind of behavior. And that's how I started educating. You know, which I was lacking when I came in. There was no one to teach me. So I started it when Obviously, you see those dunes day in, day out by traveling from one emirate to another. There are a lot of wildlife in it. A lot of wildlife in it. If you look into it, you have to have those kind of eyes to look into it. So I started harping in UAE alone. Obviously, the idea not very well liked by my wife. Alone harping, I will not suggest you guys. You have to have harping with the 2 or 3 people. Obviously, the subject here is very, very dangerous. I was never involved photographing snakes, but obviously a wildlifer was kicking in always to do something in wildlife. So that's when I started doing research. As I said, I used to document things. I used to write things. And that's when I started. When I look for the snake, what you have to look for? What is the habitat? Look for what tracks they give you. When you go into the dunes, when you go into the sand dunes, you can see those marks of a gecko, of a beetle, of any snake, or anything has gone on. It's in nature. This is a nature's way of communication with you. You can read it. And that's what the wildlifer is. Wildlifer, the God has given you that kind of knowledge to read the calligraphy of the nature. You must use it for the awareness of the people. And that's what I believe in. And then you have to know what your subject is. If it is a nocturnal, whether it's a day dweller, or its movement is related to some temperature, humidity, or if it is a dangerous subject, you must know what to do and don'ts about it. And last but not least, since you are there to photograph them, document them, you have to have a proper equipment. Whether it's from the medical direction, whether it's from the camera, lenses, proper lenses, other things. So I'll just take you through my 5 years of experience on the harping in UAE. There are many types of snakes found, but if I go on, I can go on for days here. I'm just covering 4 types of snakes. This one is Arabian horn viper. This is a Sindh soy scale viper. This is a Persian horn viper, and this is a Oman soy scale viper. These are the 4 vipers currently found in UAE deserts. All of them are very, very highly poisonous. The toxin or the intensity of toxin depends upon where they found. I'll tell you, it's not necessary the Arabian horn viper found in Fujairah might have the same kind of venom intensity the found in Yemen or in Chad. Anyway, this is just the introduction. I'll just take you through. First, we'll start with Arabian horn viper. This is in UAE. That's the only true Arabian horn viper. You will see it. These projected horns. This is one single scale is projected, and that's the reason this is the only true horn viper. If you see Persian horn viper, these scales are made up of, these horn is made up of with various scales. That's the reason Persian horn viper, also known as false scale, false Persian horn viper, or false horn viper. That's the thing. One single, you can say, one single horn is projected. That's a true Arabian horn viper. Now, very funny part of this species is they are found with the horn and without the horn. From the same hatchlings, you can have babies with the horn and babies without the horn. And trust me, this is I'm not been able to find out what's the reason behind it. Is it something related to the male or female? Nothing as such. What's the reason for having a horn in some of them and not having a horn in some of them? In the 5 years, yes, with the horns, they are very, very rare. I have only cited 5 of them with the horn. And all of them are very small. Very small, like you can say around 45 centimeters or 35 centimeters. The average length is around 90 centimeters of adult, full adult weight, male or female. Generally females are bigger in size and thicker in size. But it's still, there are certain still mysteries, that keeps me going. We still have to find out what's the reason behind it to have from the same sibling you have with the horn and without the horn. Apart from that, there's another part, a peculiar part about this Arabian horn viper. This is the only viper. It gives birth to eggs. Doesn't give birth to a live actually. This is the only viper. It lays eggs actually. And I've also noticed in going through few of my photographs, it gels very good with the scent. And the color of the scents, if you notice it, if you just try and notice it, nature is very beautiful actually. If you try and notice it, the color of the scent on the Russell Kemasada, if you go north, it is quite reddish. And whereas if you go towards on the southern part, Dubai or Sharjah, it's more greyish actually. And if you see, the snakes found in the northern is slightly dark. The nature has given them those kind of camouflage technique to get camouflage with their habitat actually. And it's not necessary that it's the same species with a different morph. Now this is a small thing which that's how keep me going. I just document all these things. Purely nocturnal. They are very active after, you can say, sunset and then up to the sunrise. Obviously, these are all cold-blooded animals, cold-blooded reptiles. So they cannot control their body temperature. They need sun to get the energy. That's what sometimes you will see them. Many a times in the winter season, you will see them basking in the sun to get the energy. Because the sun gets very cold in the winter season in desert part of this world. When it comes to the toxicity of the venom, in this particular viper, I don't say it's not toxic, but it's very less toxic. For the human being, it gives you a kind of a gangrene kind of effect. It prevents blood clotting, basically, right? It once the bite takes place, the bleeding starts excessively bleeding starts, and you may lose the organ. That's a full possibility. But in this case, there's an ample amount of antidotes are available all over UAE, and these antidotes are available only in the government hospital. No private hospital offers these things. This is not the IUCN list, this is not the threatened one, very commonly available. I mean, you can see them. Obviously, you need to know how to track them down. This particular picture I'm showing you is, every snake, they have a thermal vision. They cannot see properly, and all of them are nocturnal. So how they see their prey, actually. You can see these spits. They help them to see in a night actually, and when they flicker their tongue, they have a Jacob's organ over here, which sends the information to the brain that where the prey is. It takes while flickering the tongue, it takes the environment, it takes the atmosphere, it takes the air around him, and that helps him to get the information. And these pits has got a very sensitive membrane, and it gets activated at the temperature of 27 degrees centigrade. 27.00001, it gets activated. And to my knowledge, I was going through some of those general, these pits are so sensitive, it's 10 times more sensitive than any human-made apparatus or any human-made thermal vision cameras. It can sense immediately, and then he will know which way to strike, whether to strike on the right side or the left side. That's how that is how they sense their prey. A typical, this is a human vision this is how the snake sees it. You know, they sense the temperature. They sense the hot blood of their prey. That is how they'll see a ball of a red ball, and that's when they'll know that this is my prey. This is how the snake sees it. Now, when you go into the desert, what to look for when you're looking for an Arabian Wildlife? Not a very good picture. It's good for the documentation purpose. This is a typical, in the sand, a typical horn viper tracks. Once you see this tracks, trust me guys, he can be a kilometer away, he can be a foot away, or he can be just 100 feet away from you, or just 100 feet. I mean, it can be anywhere. The moment you see the track, you have to be extra cautious about it, because the moment you put a stab on it, it's going to strike it. And I'm telling you, strike it 1/6 of a second. That's a lightning fast strike of these guys. This is, you know, these Arabian horned viper, they rely on ambush. They are ambush predators. They rely on their senses of temperature and their ambush themselves are buried in half in a sand. This is a typical marking that the Arabian horned viper was sitting there last night, ambush himself. This is how you will see them. You'll compare with this, you can see this. Very well camouflaged. I mean, I love this picture. You know, this is, you can see this. And it looks like that as if something is written in Arabic on the sand. This is a nature way of warning you. There's something ahead, there's something wrong ahead. There's a warning. I mean, I can tell you there are only few people who can read this. And these people are gifted from God actually. You see, you know, I mean, it's a lovely picture showing a very ambushed, I mean, he's very well camouflaged with the surrounding and waiting for the prey to approach him. Very interesting picture. My friend Chandrasekhar Sardesai. The picture I included there, you can see a horned viper and my friend Shekhar's shoes over here, and he didn't strike it. I mean, this sensing pit, the moment prey comes into a 1 meter range, he strikes immediately. And it can strike 3 times of the body length. Remember one thing, if it is a 3 feet snake, it can strike up to 9 feet. That's the capability they are having here. But in this case, if you see, Shekhar's foot mark is here and he didn't strike. The only reason is, in the previous slide, he could not see images like this. Because my friend was wearing a shoe and he was fortunate that they could tell the story to us. He shared this, he took it with the Samsung, and that particular night, he was the one who tracked the markings on the sand, and then he got a little careless, just wandering around. So when I say the moment you find the tracks, you have to be extra cautious. He can be anywhere, a feet away. You cannot, then you have to freeze, you have to look somewhere, he can be anywhere. I mean, they are the master of camouflage. They are the master in their own habitat actually. You cannot take a recipe with them. This is again Arabian horned viper with the horn, very well camouflaged, and you can see it's really very, very difficult to track them out. Yeah, black and white makes a good image actually. Again, I can see, I see them in a different eyes actually. Same, you can see, it looks like some kind of a calligraphy on the sand in a black and white. And it gives you a kind of a warning. Now, once you found the snake, how to photograph them? You have to make sure that the snake is in a comfortable position. Otherwise, they will not let you photograph. Make sure you respect him You respect the distance in making them. So this is it about the Arabian horn viper. I mean, I would not say that I have done a lot of work in it. Yes, done a lot of work in it, but still have to do the certain mystery which I have to resolve it, which I have to document it. I'm in a process of doing it. It's every Thursday or Friday evening we are out to do all these kind of things with some mad and passionate people, partners in crime, you can say. So I'll take you to the next viper. This is a Sin-Soy scale viper. Both Arabian horn viper and Sin-Soy scale viper both shares the same habitat. You'll find them in the same places, same sand dunes. Only thing, they rely on a camouflage technique. I mean, they rely on camouflage technique. They gel with the tree bark, with the dry leaf. They don't ambush half buried in the sand like Arabian horn viper. But remember one thing, this is more toxic, more dangerous, more poisonous than the Arabian horn viper. And the big thing about them is it attacks to bite. 99% of his attacks doesn't go fail. So you've got to be very, very cautious right away. In my 5 years of harping, I've never seen him in aggression. I've never seen him in a very aggressive posture. Because as I said, when he attacks, he comes with a bite. He's very sure about his capabilities. And obviously, more toxin, same hemotoxic venom, it gives you excessive bleeding and loss of organs, and obviously no one would like to have a bite from him. Aggression I haven't seen from him. I've only seen in one species, which is a female, thick female, and significantly in size. Maybe that day she was a bit disturbed, or could be a pregnant one. So that was the only specimen I found it. Very, very disturbed that day and not very cooperative. And then we let her go immediately without disturbing her. Generally, what happens is when they feel threatened, especially the scale viper, they just try to escape from the situation. They come into a C-shape, or you can say horseshoe shape position. This is a typical marking, like the same marking you will see in Arabian horn viper, but the only difference between them is in this marking you will not see the scales. If there is a scale, it's Arabian horn viper. That's a major difference. And after seeing this marking, you must know in which direction the snake is traveling. Same like this, same Arabian horn viper, like once you see the tracks, you got to be extra cautious. It can be anywhere. But once you see it, how are you going to find it? That is how you're going to find it. Sitting under the shrub, very dry shrub, white, obviously the angry one. This is how you will, most of the time you will find them. Below the shrubs, dry woods. See, as I said, he depends upon his own camouflage, his own coloration. It's a dry wood, he's just sitting and waiting for either the gecko or a jackal to pass. Another one under the dry leaf. It's a very small leaf and sitting in the dry bamboo. One more thing I've noticed with them, which I'm going to share. You see the marking on the Sin-Soy scale viper. You see the marking here at the head and the marking here on the head. This is entirely different. Every Sin-Soy scale viper has a different stripes. Same like tiger. I'm trying, although I mean they are in, their population is huge, I'm just, with the help of my friends, I'm making a profile. It's not, since we cannot tag them, so it's like making a profile that have I found this snake before in doing hopping a year back or 6 months back. So I'm kind of making, you know, and plus I'm doing you know, once I found it, I just take note of the coordinates over there. And then the next time you found it, you take the coordinates and how they travel, how long they travel. This is just out of curiosity I'm doing it. Nothing, that's why I have it. This is the defense. The only one which I saw quite aggressive. Generally they come into a shape of C, English letter of C, or in a horseshoe shape. But in this particular case, he was very agile. He was disturbed actually, and immediately he came to an attacking position. And the first time I've seen this, since I was normally very quiet, he'll let you take photograph. He'll not be very disturbed. But in this case, immediately comes into a defensive position, and I took only 1 or 2 photographs not to disturb him more. This is how we come to see. This is his defense. The first defense. The moment he feels that he's being tracked down or he's been seen, that's how he feels. But at the same time, keeping an eye on me. He's keeping an eye on me. It's kind of, you can see the shape is C type of shape or a horseshoe shape. That's how he'll come. And the moment he feels comfortable, he'll come out of his thing. And now he's trying to get the information, he's trying to gather the information from the around the ruler there. Once he's comfortable, then you're done. You can go. This is, as I said, we have got some gadgets, custom made thing. And this particular, those who are a professional photographer, the exhibit of this particular image is ISO 100. F32, you can see all entire snake is in a focus. The aperture was F32, and shutter speed was 1 by 50 in it, and it was remotely controlled. Image is track shot. This is again once it's comfortable, then you're done. Then they will not attack or they will not. This particular image, if you see, they've got a keel snake, scales. This is another, in case of Arabian horn viper, also in case of Simsoy scale viper. So once they feel threatened, you know, they rub their scales against each other to make a hissing noise. That's how they start. You know, they will make a hissing noise and they'll back off. It doesn't mean that they're trying to attack you, they're trying to charge on you, nothing like that. You can see these are projected scales to top. And when they get rough, you have a significant amount of noise into it. I'll just show you. See, most of these, whether it's a Arabian horn viper or whether it's a Simsoy scale viper, their movement is side-winding. They don't slither like in a straight line, like you'll see in Goa, you'll see in Python, or you'll see in a king cobra or in a normal or spectacle cobra. They side-wind. Sharma is photographed it and we made it, and while we were hopping, you can see this is a Simsoy scale viper. They don't slither, they go in a sine wide. There's a reason behind it. See, this is going, it's moving on the sine wides. There's a reason behind it. This is to protect them from the great heat actually. This is to protect them from the desert heat actually. When they sidewind at any point of time, only two points of his body is in contact with the sun. So the entire body is not getting overheated. This is nature has given equipped with them and this kind of a movement. I always love black and white images on snake. This is the same female. And see, when the subject is very comfortable and you're shooting them, trust me, those who knows me, I hardly do post-processing. This is out of the camera. I do it on Lightroom, 5 moves, and the picture is there, what I want. If it doesn't, I just delete it. Wildlife is, what it is. That is how you have to present it. Very well camouflaged. This is various the same species. Before we go to Oman, so I still I'll show you some of the images of videos of Arabian horn viper, very well camouflaged. You can see how it senses the atmosphere, the air around there. Thanks for the lovely video. The third species is Oman soy-scale viper, entirely different species and entirely different terrain it shares than the rest of two. This one you will find most of the time in a wadi or in a rocky mountains near the water. The difficult part with this viper is no markings. You can't read what is going on. Where is he? It's very difficult. You have to search. You have to look for it. There's nothing. The only clue for them is they love goats. They love frogs. The best time and the best time is after the sunset, and the best place is anywhere in the pond where you have lots and lots of goats. I'm telling you, toads. I can also say frog. There's a difference between toads and frogs. The toads, at the back of their eyes, they have a glands which has a poison, which generates poison. This particular viper itself is highly poisonous, and he loves toads. That means he uses that poison also in his poison. So his venom is a mix of highly toxic proteins and enzymes. One more thing is, again, very aggressive. Once takes a bite, you have only an hour to write a will. highly poisonous. Immediately, the moment you find him, immediately he comes into defensive. He will not defend himself. He knows his capability. He has got full confidence in him. That if you mess around with him, you will get that from him. How you find him? Shekhar, thanks a lot for the photograph. Lovely one again. They will be waiting just near to the pond, toad or the frogs to approach towards it. And it's like that. They've got nothing ambushed strategy or anything like that. They're just waiting at the bank of the water hole or water body, and they'll just wait for the toads, nothing else. But when disturbed, it takes a hide into a shrubs. That is how you will find it. Very, very difficult to locate that. It's very difficult. Another difference with the other two. Much needed. Another difference between another two and this one. They slither in a straight direction. They don't go sideways. And most of the time, like the people those who are sitting from India, you have seen when they go for a tiger safari in tiger reserve in India, most of the time you will see a tiger on the road leading your jeep. I've seen leading me in the body. I'm walking in and suddenly I see soy scale is in front of me, slithering just in a straight direction. It's very difficult to, unless he moves, you will not be able to make out. There's a wiper over there. That is how you're going to find it. Again, homotoxic venom, red cell destroys it and it attacks on other tissues also, and you end up losing the particular limb or in the maximum cases death. But problem is, it's a very good problem actually. It's very difficult to find. So human interaction with this particular viper is very, very less. So death, I was going through some of the general, there is only 1 or 2 deaths has been recorded with this viper in UAE. It's very difficult to find it. Same, it's active in the early morning and afternoon and possibly throughout the night. And they just spray on toads. They love that actually. Toads, they love that extremely. Same, like from the other species, they rub their scales and they make noises. The same way, the typical viper kind of behavior. That's, I'll show you that one of those videos from the start where he has shown that he's rubbing his scale. This is very, very scary thing about that. In UAE, 1 rain or 2 rain, people like us, they just go into the body, go for a tent, go for a barbecue, but they never notice it. They try to climb on our body walls, and they can anytime follow you. You can have a death straight away coming from the sky. You have to be very, very cautious. Sometimes those holidays with the family can turn into a nightmare. I'm not trying to scare you, but at the same time, you have to take care. What are the do and don'ts of these snakes? I'll show you that. Very difficult to locate them. This is, you can see it's rubbing with each other. rubbing their scales with each other and trying to make a noise. That's a typical behavior of that. The moment they see, right, that's how they, and the simultaneously they'll just back off. They'll just back off. And they'll just try to escape from the situation. Thanks a lot for the video, the lovely video. In the entire video you will see, you will not see them in a defensive mode. They are always in attacking mode. That's his behavior inhibited into attention. The moment he see any sudden movement or any sudden action somewhere, he can come to attacking mode immediately. This is how this is you know, that's what I was initially I was talking about, in fact, documentation. Every viper, every species has got its own characteristics. You can see it. These are from the same family, viper family, but have got a different venom, different behavior patterns. It's very difficult unless you have to be very cautious with the water bodies in the body, especially if you found more of a frog and the toads over there. There is a full possibility that they'll be somewhere very near to it. And I've seen them 5 or 6 together in a distance of 1 feet to 2 feet. It can be under the stone, it can be under the shrub, and you can see camera fast technique is very good actually. You'll never see them in a defensive position. They are always in a attacking position. You see, no defense. They believe in attack. Fourth and the last one, Persian horn viper. I have personally never photographed it. There's a reason behind it. One is, it is found the altitude of 900 to 1200 meters above the sea level. There is already a plan in place, obviously, to see this Persian horn viper in the wild. There is a 5 hours or maybe 4 hours of trekking is required. You got to be fit to do the trekking down. There is a plan with there are partners in the crime. There is a plan already in place, and this will help. Actually, this trekking will help some of our guys to reduce their weight aspect. They'll be more fit. So whatever information I've been able to gather, I'm working on it. I'm doing it kind of research. As I said, when I try to photograph something, I make sure that I spend more time with them on the internet, try to get the maximum possible information about it and what's the behavior. This particular Persian horn viper, they are found in a 3 morph actually. Yellow, dark brown, and the pale red actually. And the photos which I've gone through in internet, it's like if you find the dark brown one, you will see them in a dark brown kind of habitat only. I mean, somehow they know it, that it's their habitat. So it's very difficult, even if it's there, you will not be able to see it. If it is a pale red, you will see them somewhere in a kind of a same kind of habitat. This is a very good behavior. That's what I've seen them. I haven't seen them. Obviously, I'm going through a lot of journals and the research work which is done by the scientists on this. As I told you, this is also known as the false horn viper. There's a reason behind it. So yeah, they are not none of my picture. I downloaded it from internet just for the education purpose. If you see these vipers, all of them having a horns, but these horns are made up of various scales. Unlike, as I told you, on the Arabian horn viper, it's a one particular scale coming up. That's the reason those are called true horn viper. They are called false horn viper. Again, very less known about them, about their venom. Yes, as a viper, initially people thought it's a homotoxic venom, but I was going through some journals, it's a neurotoxic venom. That's the only viper which is found with a neurotoxic venom. Very less information. This particular viper is only came to notice in recently around, I think, 2010, 2012. And I think till last year there were no antidotes available about this. Now it's available in Fujairah and in Alain government hospitals. And but it's very famous among the collectors, especially in Iran. That's why it's, as it says, Persian horn viper. Very famous in the among the collectors. Because of its morph, be yellow, brown and red. Yes, there have been sightings which people have seen them in a plains or wadis, or in a Hajar mountain in a lower, not on the height, in the lower. That's because people, those who collect it, when they cannot manage the situation with them, they just release them. That's a very bad part of the nature. The collectors, when they cannot manage, they just release them, and it's very difficult for the snake to survive. See, this is particular snake, a very peculiar behavior in their body. Since it is found at 1200 meters above the sea level, it's very cold up there. So he has to take the energy from the sun. The best time to see them around 12:30, 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. That's when, in the afternoon. Most of the time you will see them either basking in the sun or sitting on a hot stones. That's where they try to get the energy. Possibly, there is a full possibility in this year we'll be able to have got certain information together still. And this particular year we'll be able to photograph them, and I'll be able to provide more information about them. Meanwhile, these are some different morph which are there. Persian horn viper. You can see, its morph is different. Its habitat is the same. Somehow they know their color, and they try to stay on the same kind of habitat. It's very difficult for them to do. Another thing, since I have not photographed them, I have not seen them by myself, but going through the journals, I have come to know they have a black tail, and they try to attract prey with it. How true it is, I still have to confirm about it. Yes, there are in Namib Desert you will find sidewaters. They do it this kind of a pattern, these vipers. But how true about these vipers, I have got no idea about it. But as I said, I'm in a process of reading about that. Other snakes found in UAE is hooded Melbourne waterfalls cobra. It gives you a kind of a warning like it's a septical cobra. Sand snake, cat snake, wadi racer, sand boa. These two are totally non-venom. Others are very mild venom, rear flank, and yes, obviously the bite pains a lot. It's no threat to the human being. Antivenoms of these things are available only in the government hospital. Sheikh Rashid Hospital in Dubai, Qasimi Hospital in Sharjah, Hospital in Alain.
Actually, I want more in Sarateva at the time.
It's that's very typical of it. Even till last year, I used to think that obviously, in the rest of the world, winter is a hibernation time for them.
Hibernation.
Yeah, hibernation time. But in this part of the world, they don't hibernate.
Because summers are too hot.
Yes, they don't hibernate. What they do is they go slow. They will not move. Once they go into the burrow, they will not move for a day or two, but they will come out.
And most of these are nocturnal.
All of them are. All of them are nocturnal.
Except Persian, which you will find in the
Yes.
I never knew actually so many species existed in UAE. Useful landscaping is so far down the Korean way.
Okay.
So now when I go near a Wadi little place, somebody's going to be around. Very risky.
Now you also find apart when we go for the hopping, it's not only snake that we found. We found a snake, we found scorpions, camel spider, centipedes, and geckos. Different kinds of
I went
geckos.
once with Chandrasekhar.
Okay.
So we found a lot of geckos, spiders.
Camel spider, yeah. There was a fantastic video of Shambai when he took with camel spider. Wolf spider. With prey all over, and she's trying to just gather the prey and one after another immediately, 1, 2, and just trying to be very greedy actually that day.
Neurotoxins kill faster.
It's faster. It just attacks, yeah. Just attacks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.